One of those under-the-radar things is that the Miami Heat at this point in the season are starting an undrafted backcourt in Max Strus and Gabe Vincent. At halftime, they had 5 points. They had 23 in the second half. And Wendy's right about them searching out Pritchard to defensively put him into action. But he did make a couple of shots. But when those guys decided to produce in the second half, that also became a game changer. But let me just make sure I stress one thing. Jimmy Butler is a superstar in today's NBA. When he decided to leave the Sixers, for whatever reasons, whether they paid Tobias Harris or whatever happened, there were a lot of people that felt like he should go join a team or team up with somebody. When he chose to go to Miami, that was head-scratching for a lot of people. He took his own path. He's led them to the finals. He's leading them again right now. So he and Eric Spoelstra, the time that they had discord in the huddle, it just reminded me of something. Jimmy Butler playing with the Heat and Eric Spoelstra have to allow themselves to be coached. When you watch that video of Grant Williams, and Pat Bev will tell you, Ime Udoka was trying to coach him, but he was talking back. See, that's the next level. When I was watching the Nets play, to me, that's what they were missing, is will KD always allow somebody to coach him because KD is just, basketball greatness? But will Kyrie, in particular, allow somebody to coach him? And I'm learning, and I'm appreciating when I'm watching the Heat and I'm watching the Celtics that the players are allowing themselves to be coached. So therefore, it gives them maximum opportunity to play at their best.
Oh, I love that. Is an excellent point because I think the word on Jimmy Butler before he ended up in Miami was this guy's going his own way. He doesn't always listen. Kind of rubs people the wrong way at different times. And the fact that you're saying that says a lot about Jimmy Butler and what is making this Miami Heat team so successful. What do you think?
For sure. If you, it's not even about a superstar or whatever. If you can coach the mass of the team. When I mean mass, I mean the biggest personality of the team. If you can coach that, I mean you can coach anybody else on the roster. And Jalen, he hit it right on the head. They allowed themselves to be coachable. You've seen the replay with Grant Williams. That's just stuff it happens in the playoffs, but it's not supposed to happen. Your coach curse you out, you accept it, you say okay, no matter what, you go back at film, you get better. And I think that that turmoil that Jimmy and Coach Spo had in the middle of the season, I think it's a reason why they're here now together, for sure.
Wendy, though, I look at this Celtics team, and that moment stands out, but at the same time, they've come together in ways that a lot of people didn't expect, these Celtics. How do you see that playing out?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Celtics have a lot of confidence. They've been arguably the best team in the NBA since January 1st. They were down repeatedly in the series to the Bucks. They were down 1-0, they were down 2-1, they were down 3-2 going on the road, and they always bounced back. Now, the health thing is a different challenge, but being around this team for the last few weeks and knowing what I know about their personalities, I do not think that they will take this as a setback. They will look at their first half yesterday, find what works, and prepare for tomorrow. I still am banking on this to be a very long series and for both teams to land punches on each other.
If so, I got a question for you, Win. If Marcus Smart and Al Horford don't play game one, obviously they didn't play game one, but Game 2 and Game 3, do the Boston Celtics have a chance? That's my question to you.
I think they need Smart. I think they can withstand Horford
a
little bit more
because
they've got depth. Absolutely, they have a chance. Absolutely. Well, I have a huge amount of respect for this Celtics team.
I got to leave it there.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.